Yep. 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 Oh, I didn't start the game. Whoops. You gotta run the game to run the game. Well, we started up Zelda's Adventure yesterday, and, it's a weird-ass game. It's a weird-ass game. I don't think it's terrible. It's flawed for sure, but it's definitely one of those... It's a game of its time for sure. You know, I think if it didn't have the Legend of Zelda, you know, attached to it, you wouldn't consider this an awful game. I think you can look at it and go, it's perfectly acceptable for when it was made. I love the cheesy FMV sequences. They're lovely. I love it. I love that. But the game itself is definitely a little goofy and clunky. There's really no hand-holding. They at least give you an idea of where you need to go next for the dungeons, but it's not always great. We went... You know, one of the hints was like, go to the mountains where the mist is lying. So it's just like, okay, I don't know where the mountains are. Up. They don't really tell you where they are, so we went and tried to find the mountains. We found the mountains, I think. We got there, and then they said, go to the northwest. It was literally 2 screens over to the left. It wasn't in the northwest. It was actually southwest from where we were. I'm lucky I found that. So, the game is kind of goofy. The dungeons are definitely fever dreams. The last dungeon we did, I don't think was necessarily all that hard, but because of the... You have magic, right? You have magic. And it's reliant on your rupees. So you have a bunch of different abilities, and each one of those costs a different amount of rupees. Some of them are way more expensive than others, and I didn't have a lot of money, and the ones that we needed to defeat the enemies, because certain enemies are only vulnerable to certain spells, I had to grind for money. That's been like the only like complaint that I would have had so far, is that kind of thing is super tedious. Like, I literally needed to leave the dungeon to go get money so I could fight the enemies. And the crazy part is that, so each enemy required to be hit 4 or 5 times. It costs 26 per casting. It could hit the enemy more than once, but you don't know. So I needed to hit the enemy 4 or 5 times, which is, it costs 26 each time. It's a little more than 100 to kill the enemy. You need $100 to kill one enemy. That's a lot of money when enemies only drop 5 and 10 rupees. Not consistently. So we had to leave the dungeon, grind for money, then go back in, and if you failed, then you had to do it all over again, which means you need another $200. It was just tedious. That would be like my biggest complaint right now, is that the fact that you have so many different abilities is a pain in the ass. It's cool to have a ton of different things that you can screw around with. It actually is cool that you can screw around with that. I think it actually is cool, but at the same time, you have 30 different magic spells that you can cast, and you have enemies, you know, attacking you. It really takes a while to, like, figure out, like, okay, can we do this? I don't know how this is gonna work. Where do we, like, load in? I'm assuming from, like, the middle area, right? Yeah, okay. So they said we were going to a fort. So we've accomplished, I believe we have beat, what do we got here? 5 dungeons. 5 dungeons we've gone through. I never found the second compass, and that's because I didn't know how to fight the Wizrobes. And herein lies another problem, in that when you equip a ability, you need to hit the enemy with that ability. The wand that you use, which is what we have equipped right now, it's our standard attack, it's got a pretty big hitbox, which is nice for the most part. It's nice. But when you're trying to find enemies' weaknesses, It's not great because if you hit the enemy first with your wand and then the skill hits them, it won't register. And that was the problem that I was having. So apparently the daggers were the weakness to the Wizrobes. And I didn't know that. So we like avoided fighting all the Wizrobes who apparently had items on them. I was thinking about going back in and killing the Wizrobes in there just to see if they had a like dungeon item on them. Because if they do, that could be super helpful. We should probably go back over there and check that out just in case. But we've gone through 5. There's 2 more dungeons that we have to go to. Maybe 3? Depending on how things play out, I guess. I don't quite know where we're going now. They said the fort. They said go to the fort. So there's 2 spots where I can think of. There's a spot east of the swamp area. We haven't really explored over there, and there is a spot to the north of the forest area where the second dungeon is, which might also have stuff in it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. One of the interesting things that I believe I've noticed, I could be wrong, is that the more health you have, I think the better the defense. So there's like this kind of like leveling up system with like the amount of health that you have. I think you do more damage with your wand. I think you're more powerful. I think. You see, like, we took a bunch of damage there and nothing really happened. I think that's how that works, but I'm not sure. It would seem that it's true, but... oh my goodness. I can't tell. I can't tell. We're gonna go... I want to go check out Dungeon 2 again, and if we're over there, we'll go try to, like, if they let us back in, first of all. If they let us back in, we'll go check out Dungeon 2, and while we're over there, we'll see if that's the fort. I doubt it, but maybe. And if not, then we just have to come back over here and go into the sort of southeast. It's not really southeast, but it's sort of southeast. It shouldn't take too long to get back over to Dungeon 2. I just want to kill some of the Wizrobes in there. Not because I want the compass, but because I just want to see if maybe they have, like, another item. I don't recall if we got, like, an attack item in there or not. It's also not guaranteed. The majority of the attack items, like the magic spells we've got, have been from the overworld. We've gotten, like, maybe 1 or 2 things from inside the dungeons, but we have got stuff from in them, so... I wouldn't want to leave anything on the table just in case we get to a point where, like, we actually need that. That would be, slightly, what's the word I'm looking for here? Bad. Bad. We don't want the bad things to happen. We want the good things to happen, the happy things, the comforting things to have happened. I think we have all the health that we can get. I don't think we can get any more health. I think there were 4 or...
Don't worry about the...
4 or 5 health pickups. I don't know if we ever can upgrade anything. There's this blacksmith here who's never done anything. He just complains.
Who goes there? Oh, it's a young girl. Don't touch anything. People steal me blind. I know you all hate me.
That guy just complains. I really wish he, like, did something. He's just got a typewriter constantly going. It doesn't seem like he's got any benefits to me, though, which is super disappointing. Super duper disappointing. It makes me mega sad. Mega giga sad. Mega giga sad. That's a thing. You can be that. You can be that. We're just gonna go all the way up north. Oh god, these things. My nemesis is... You know what, if there's another one there, it can live. Oh, we found, the fairy that brings us happiness. I didn't realize it was just straight up north from there. That's cool. And the dungeon should just be right over here. And then where we want to check out is just a little to, the east from over here. So it's perfect. We're in the perfect spot to do the things that I want to do. It's wonderful. I don't know if they'll let us go back in.
Look beyond.
Really? Okay, that's cool. Well then, we could definitely take out the whiz robes. This will be good. I think I know exactly where we need to go since we had to do this like 30 times. I think I know what I have to do. At least I'm pretty sure. I do think we need to kill that guy. These dungeons can be, I don't want to say disorienting, but you would think, oh hey look, there's a door here. It's a lie. They do that a lot. A lot of these are, it feels very Alice in Wonderland. And you see Zelda, she's like this blonde girl. You know, the white and blue, it looks a lot like Alice in Wonderland. I wonder if they had an idea for doing some like Alice in Wonderland shit, and instead they were like, "Oh, we have Zelda now. Let's make it into Zelda." What is this madness? It is madness. It is madness. What's up, Amy? How you doing, homie? Happy Tuesday. How you doing? How is life treating you on this fine, whatever today is, Tuesday? Hey, there is a compass here, okay. Is this an actual franchise game, or was it a disowned abomination? It was a disowned abomination. This came out for a pretty much failed system called the Philips CD-i. They had Nintendo license them the IPs of Mario and The Legend of Zelda. And there are 3 games that are Legend of Zelda for the Philips CD-i. The first one is called Link, The Faces of Evil. The second is Zelda and the Wand of Gamelon. And this one is just called Zelda's Adventure. They are usually regarded as some of the worst games ever created. Now, that's just unfortunately not true. People are just idiots that have never played them. But they're not like good Zelda games. This is the only one that actually feels like an actual Zelda game. Sort of. They're weird. They're weird. This one is definitely... The other ones do feel like fever dreams just because of like how... I don't know, like cocaine fueled they are. This one definitely feels like some Alice in Wonderland style, like, acid trips. They're not that bad. They're not great either. But they're not as bad as people have claimed them to be. Maybe I'm not a good judge. Oh my god, can you throw your daggers? Thank you. Holy crap, we need to spend some dollars. Okay. Oh my goodness! I can't kill them! They're veritable gods! Oh, this is impossible. Oh my goodness, I killed one. There's that truck racing game where you can get infinite reverse speed. Now that's truly bad. Infinite reverse speed? That sounds great. When can I get infinite reverse speed? There we go. Okay. Holy crap. The Alice-like character, she does look a lot like Alice. She does look a lot like Alice. It made me wonder if instead of, like, they just kind of, like, just rename some things in the Zelda-verse and were just like, okay, it's Zelda now. Like, they were developing Alice in Wonderland and then just went, it's Zelda. It's the same thing. No one's ever gonna know. How you doing, any user? Welcome on in. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well today. I don't remember if there were any other whiz robes or if those were it. I just wanted to kill those whiz robes. This was a previous dungeon. I hadn't figured out how to kill them. So I wasn't sure if there was something like I was missing out on by having not have murdered them, but I don't think that I have. So at least we got that going for us. They only had a compass, which obviously we don't need a compass. I think those were the last sets of them. I think. She also kind of looks like a Mennonite auntie gonna sell you some baked goods and quilts. You know what? I'll take a Mennonite pie. I'll take a pie. A delicious apple, a pie-orino. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm down. I'm down. Alright, well, we killed the boss, so they're not there anymore. I think those were the last whiz robes in here. I think it was just 2 rooms of them. So we could probably just, like, roll the hell out of here. I just wanted to check that to see if they had, like, a dungeon item or something like that, since I wasn't able to kill them before. Well, I hadn't figured out how to kill them. Yeah, there are far worse games out there than these ones. I mean, this isn't good by any means of the imagination, but it's also not, like, horrible. I've played worse than this. I've definitely played worse than this. The cool thing about it is this one actually feels a bit more like a Zelda game than the other ones did. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I like how every screen transition, the game makes this wonderful noise. It's very good. It's very good. It's an intense organ. You gotta love a high and intense organ. I don't think we can do anything about the wall masters there. I think the wall masters are just that's the door. Okay, and nothing gets us out. Okay, I think we finally get to play our harp. I think we finally get to play our harp. I've never used it before. They said the harp leads us out of the dungeon. It's like the mirror. Hell yeah. Alright. That works. I just wanted to check in there real quickly to see if it had anything. It didn't. It didn't. So we could just try to find... We're looking for Dungeon 6 now. So it's kind of like the original Zelda game where you just get dumped into a world and you're just like wandering around trying to figure out where stuff is. In some ways, and this might be blasphemous, it plays a little bit better than original Zelda. In some ways. In some ways. Like having 8-way movement is really cool. Because in Zelda, you can only move, the original one, you can only move up, down, left, and right. And you're on like a grid thing. This one, you can actually move at angles. That would to me, be an improvement. That doesn't mean that this game is better in any way. I'm just saying, 8-way movement is nice. Alright, this is when they said fort, this is what I thought of. When they were like, go to the fort. Like, this kind of reminds me of a fort. Fort, fort, fort. Forty, forty, fort. Right? But I guess this isn't a fort. This is not a fort. Okay. We have learned. Right? Okay. Well, now I don't know where to go. I have an idea. There was a swamp in the east that we could go to and check out, and maybe this swamp in the east has some lovely giftage for us. We should probably heal at the ferry here while we can. Thank you, fairy. Love you. All right, so we got a bit of a hike. I don't think that there is a fast way over there. If we go into the meadow, we can get over there. We gotta pay the troll toll, but I think if we can... How do I get over to the meadow? I don't actually know. Well, this is gonna be fun. Is this it? Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. Why these... Hell, what are they? They sound like birds. Caw-caw! They're like spiders and they're shooting crap at me? These fish also shoot crap? I think the fish are supposed to be like Zora. I think the fish are kind of supposed to be like the Zora, but they're not. They look like giant bloated ticks. You know they do, but they're shooting some sklooge at us. Like, they called all of these animals, like, by their in-game name, you know, like their Zelda game name. So, like, everything has, like, some sort of association. Evil, unhumanoid Zora. I mean, they're in the water and they're fish-like, so... Yeah, why not? They could be Zora.
Pass, young lady, no less.
You have to equip your money to spend your money. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So, to the east of here, we haven't really explored. Once we get into the swamp area here, we haven't really explored over there, so I'm assuming that's where we go. I honestly don't know. We just haven't been over there. They told me to go to a fort. Okay, we have to kill these elephant. I think these are Lizalfos. But they sound like elephants for some reason. It makes sense if you don't think about it. It's very logical. If I did drugs, I would totally make lizards sound like elephants. So we've already explored this area. This guy did a little too much peyote. I'm pretty
You
sure.
are now in the presence of one whose feet have often touched the earth and whose eyes have seen what they have seen. Beware of all those beings who can harm thee, for they are dangerous, but be a friend of all who are true friends, for they may aid thee.
Yeah, that guy maybe touched too much grass. Is it possible to touch too much grass? Like, it's cool and all to go outside. But can you fondle too much grass? Alright, so this area over here, we've not really explored. Not according to Willie Nelson. Or Snoop Dogg, I guess. What's up, Teak? How you doing, homie? How goes Tuesday? Oh, God. All right. We haven't really explored over here at all. So this is all kind of new. New to me, new to you, new to everyone, nude. Long day, just chilling. Well, good. Long day's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You can relax and have,
Hail, Zelda. We have heard much of you. We retreated here to learn the arts of rebellion against Ganon.
What, are they like fighting with like wooden spoons? What's up, Nate? How you doing, homie? Happy Tuesday. Yeah, they're just like standing there playing with spoons, I guess. Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm getting caffeinated. Did you guys watch the State of the Union? Staying informing on your politics. You did for a bit? Hey, Biden did a good job, I thought. He actually seemed really impassioned. And he even had some like jibes and stuff like that. I think he did a pretty solid job. I was duly impressed. Now, like just about everything, a lot of what he said is like hoop dreams and stuff like that, but I liked what I saw. I was pleasantly surprised.
Zelda, it's me, Sir Basil. You fared well so far on your difficult journey. You will shortly be meeting Ursor. Use well your knowledge of the broadsword.
Broadsword. Got it. Do I have a broadsword? What you saw was good? Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too. I was pleased. I was pleased. Also...
Welcome to my quarry, young one. I don't see many folks these days. Ever since Ganon devastated the land, there's been so little construction. No one comes to me for quarry stone. I am told there is wealth in this large lump of coal, but I know not how to claim it. You may take it away with you.
What? That better be there when I come back. I bet that better be there when I come back. Alright, is that there?
Welcome to my quarry, young one. I don't see many folks these days. Ever since Ganon devastated the land, there's been so little construction. No one comes to me for quarry stones. I am told there is wealth in this large lump of coal, but I know not how to claim it. You may take it away with you.
Wealth in the clump of stone? Do you think we go to that blacksmith in the village? One that sounds like he's like using a automatic typewriter. Type. Ah, this has got to be the fort. This has got to be the fort. This is like the last bastion of unexplored in this game for me, so this has got to be it. All right, so that looked like the entrance. Let's see what's down over here first. Never know what you're gonna find. Never know what you're gonna find. Literally never know what you're gonna find. Like a cool-ass fairy. Like a cool-ass fairy. What's an ass fairy? That's a great question. I don't know. That might have been it.
Physical strength is the next test for you, Zelda. Prepare for the dangerous series of contests just ahead.
What? This costs money? This costs money? What are these things? I did not...
Physical strength is the next test.
Okay, are we gonna buy all this stuff? I would like it all, please. Oh, we gotta equip our rupees so we can spend. Living pretty in the city.
Prepare for the dangerous series of contests.
Yeah, I want the
just ahead.
bow. Yeah, I want the bouquet of flowers.
Come over here, princess. I have things of beauty to please your eye. The red ribbon costs 50 rubies, but it has a history beyond price. Come again, you deserve many objects of beauty.
I bought all your stuff, sir. What does it do? I got a bouquet. I got a bow. And what was the other thing? Was that an attack item? No. What was it? It was some vial. Oh, there it is. We have so much stuff that I don't know what any of it does. Like, I don't know what the carpet does. I don't know what our shield does. I don't know what these yellow boots do. I don't know what the X thing does. The game doesn't describe it. The manual doesn't do a good job helping out either. Wait, did I not equip my weapon? No, I didn't. I'm still trying to spend money. You can't spend money. Alright, so where the hell are we? What is this? Is this like a coliseum?
Hello, young one. You look like a friendly face. It's been many a year since I've sat down with a young woman like you to talk over my troubles. My children have all moved on to other areas of Hyrule, and I don't get to see them very much at all. Did you know that Morgan has been seeing the maid Vanity? I don't think it's at all suitable. Am I boring you? No matter. You look like you don't have much to do. It's certainly odd weather we've been having, don't you think? My, this water jug is becoming heavy. I wish my husband had installed running water in our house, but it was just too expensive. You know how things are these days.
Yep.
I guess I better be moving on. Have a good day and watch out for the Tektites. Ta-ra!
Oh. It was the other lady that was
Wise
talking?
of you to halt a spell with me, young one. I know a little of what lies concealed in the realm of combat. You must gain skill in every weapon before meeting the mighty Ursor.
In every weapon? In every weapon?
A foe has entered my realm.
What? Ah! They took my money! Ooh. Alright. It doesn't look like we can push this one, so we were just able to push the one block there. What's this? I want this. It's sparkling. We all know how much I love sparkling objects. Please let me have. Yes? Yes and thank you? No? Like, that just seems messed up. Like, it's sparkling. You should totally give it to me. Rawr. Yeah. Let's take a look at the map. Let's see what our dungeon here is like. Alright, so we're there on the left. The red is where we've been, and the green is where we haven't been. Shrine of Strength. 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 Strength.
Please, miss, I'm so thirsty. Would you draw me some water?
Ow. Draw it.
Kind heart. My guardians rewarded you with a gold necklace to increase your magic defense. May you use it well.
What? 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 I drawed water? Did I do it? I don't... Okay.
Welcome, Zelda. I've been waiting for you for many suns. I am here to help you learn the skills of the archer. You must learn to judge the flight of your arrow the way a hawk controls his dive. Study the pace of the bears before you let fly your arrow.
What do you want me to do, though? Okay, shoot all bears? Shoot one bear? Did I do it? Did I succeed? I'm gonna go with yes. Ah! I don't know if that was a good thing or not. I got meat on a stick? What was that? Oh, this is the golden necklace is an attack thing? Okay, so that's a spell. And we got meat on a stick. I guess that's like a club or something. Let's see if the instruction manual says what these things are. We got a what now? We got a club thing and it's called the roar stick. This weapon works well against the larger creatures. Sure. Once owned by a knight, the necklace is used to call upon the powers of accuracy and fire. The necklace was stolen one day by a child who thought it could be sold for food and water. Helpful. As usual. As usual. Okay. I'm gonna take off the bow for now. I don't know if we need to keep having that on.
Hello there, little one. Step up and buy a ticket to the jousting field, where the bravest and strongest knights in Talamak test their skills. Who knows, beautiful, you may get a chance yourself.
Admit what? I admit nothing. I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth? I admit to nothing, good sir. Alright, that was $20. I guess we paid for it by winning the archery prize. They said jousting. Do I have the ability to joust? We've got... I think we have this, like, pole. We have a pole. Hold on. Hold on. While I scroll... This thing. I got this thing. Alright, I'm ready to joust. Nintendo style.
Dare you ride in the joust against the Red Knight? You are so young. But take up the lance if you will.
Take up the lance? Did I put... Is that what I have?
Hold tight, little enemy. You have something stolen from me, and I am strong.
For I am strong. Got him. I like this dungeon.
Who has harmed my red knight? I will not forget.
Alright, so we could just attack these guys. I'm strong! Yeah, sure you are. This is a dungeon. This is my favorite dungeon. Alright, we definitely need something we can fling here. God, I'm scared. Okay. You never know what's gonna happen. So if you're like, why do you keep changing your weapon? It costs money to use your weapons, and some weapons cost a lot, and you never know, like, when you're gonna need money, so I want to be as conservative as possible, so it's best just to use your wand when at all possible. Let's take a look at the map here. Where are we? Alright, so we're like, maybe like a third of the way through. Let's see if we can use this knight. No? I thought because of the circus tent thing, we might be able to cut a hole. We've only done it once, but I thought maybe that would, like, open up. To what? I don't know, but maybe, you know? Okay. Okay. What a puzzle. Can I push that to the... Oh my god, we just puzzled the crap out of that. That was amazing. That is one of the most devious puzzles I have ever come across in video game history. Like, how anyone could have solved that on their own without resorting to using some sort of guide is beyond me.
What have we here? A princess, wandering the field of honor on her own. Come over here, and I'll sell you a ticket to the field of the broadsword. Watch yourself inside. The swords are heavier than you are. 20 rubies! Get your ticket here! Just take a step through turnstile to the east, and keep your head down.
Why do they keep selling me tickets in here? This place is weird. This place is weird, and I don't know that I like it. Oh my goodness. Stop. 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 Controller wired. I need you to not be there. And now you were not there. All right. Now we're better. There was a controller on top of my controller wire. All right, so he said he needed rubies and then a broadsword. I think that's the broadsword right there. We've had that for a while. So I guess we should equip that. 20 rubies. How about your dumb ticket? I think this one's pretty cheap to use, but I don't remember. Do I have to kill you? No, I'm just gonna steal $30 from me. Heard you like controllers, so I put a controller on your controller to control your controller. That sounds about right. They took $30 from me when I tried to talk to them.
A thin waif like thee? Ha! Can you even lift a broadsword?
Don't call me a waif, you waif.
Small as thee put to flight, my brother. This I must test.
In test ye shall, good sir. In test ye shall. But failing is a pox on thine bosom. Did I pass the weird ye old folky talk?
Some fiend has put my blue knight to shame and defeated my green knight. This will be punished.
Kitty's angry? A lot of empty rooms here. It kind of is like a coliseum. It's an interesting way to do a dungeon. Yeah, probably not worth doing that, though. Probably not worth doing that, though. You just spent $30. I did. We didn't need to spend $30. We'll get $10 back. We're rich! This is the best and easiest dungeon we've been in. I think this is the boss.
So we meet at last. You are small and weak. You're no more than a bite for a warrior such as me.
It's a fucking bear? Are we in Russia? I'm caught on things! Go down! I don't think my down button works very well. Oh my god. I'm just gonna take the sword off. Yeah, there we go. Easy baby game for easy babies. I don't know how much damage it was doing, but look at me go.
A shout of triumph in the teeth of the impossible. You are drawing close, but your journey will carry you far to the northwest, where many say there's a rumble in the earth and a glow of fire.
Cool beans. That's, I think, the volcano that we were never able to get over to because there were a bunch of enemies that literally just decimated me. Ripped a new anus inside of poor Zelda. Cool beans. That was the easiest dungeon we've been to. That was great. That was great. It was genuinely great. That could not have gone better. Like, we just strolled right through that entire thing with nary a problem. I say nary because there was nary a problem. It was delightful. Normally, we're accosted by like 10 trillion enemies, and those dungeons are much harder. Compared to the last dungeon that I was in, that was a breeze. That was a breeze. And the last dungeon wouldn't have been so bad if it didn't cost like $10 billion. So like I was saying, like each of the items that we use has a different cost. And some of them are really expensive, and the ones that were required for the last dungeon were insanely expensive. It cost $26 to use the weapons, and it cost hundreds of dollars to kill enemies, so that was only a pain in the ass because it required, like, an obscene amount of money to get through. It wasn't exactly a difficult dungeon to get through. It was just expensive. That one I mean, that required some money to get through, but it wasn't difficult. I love it. I want more easy stuff. So we need to walk all the way back over to the village area. I want to turn in the coal that we had to that blacksmith guy and see if he can do something with that. I don't know what's going to become of that, but maybe something cool will happen. Hey, maybe we'll get like a super wand or something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool to have like a super wand or something. Like mega duper wand. Mega duper? It sounds like you're taking a huge shit, but like a mega duper wand? Where am I? I'm really confused. How do we get out of here?
Hi there, Zelda. It's good to see you. I hope you like the swamp. We like it here because we know Ganon hates it.
I don't want to talk to you, sir. How do we get out of here? Was it over here to the left? Did I just go up like one tile too high? Maybe that was it. Maybe we're just a little... We got a little too high there. Yeah, I think that was the problem. I think we're good now. So I think we're going to... There's no way of knowing whether this is the final dungeon or if there's one more after this. I would guess that there's 2 more dungeons, right? You get the final one that's got the next piece of the pie, so we can finish out our Trivial Pursuit pie pieces. And then like maybe one final dungeon. They keep talking about Ganon. Are we gonna fight Ganon? That would be cool if we could fight Ganon. Or we gotta pay this guy. I got flowers, and... I don't know why we picked up any of this stuff.
Get you through the path, young lady.
I wonder if it's, like, useless. Alright, the land Zora are back. I'm just gonna call the fish Zora, because I don't have anything else to call them. So we'll label them Zora. Makes sense. Makes sense. It's perfect sense. It's fine. Alright. The Eagles. And then we just need to meander back to town here, which we should be able to fairly easy do. Easy do? Easy do. Easy do. That's a thing people say. Easy do. Have you practiced your easy do? I know I've practiced my easy do. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Alright, so we're just gonna go in here, and we're gonna give this guy a lump of coal, I think. And see if anything comes of it.
Who goes there? Oh, it's a young girl. Don't touch anything. People steal me blind. I know you all hate me. What did I ever do to any of you? I give an honest bargain. I grind your coal into rubies. I stay open late and work my fingers to the bone. Do any of you appreciate it? No.
Oh. He gave me a lot of money. Maybe I should have not spent it there. Maybe we should have held on to that. I didn't know that that was like an item that was going to give me dollars. I mean, yay, I'm rich. But, like, I didn't exactly need the money yet. I could have used it later when, you know, money was tight. Money could get tight. I could have used that a long time ago, too. When I actually, instead of grinding, we could have, you know, got monies. That would have been helpful many hours ago, like yesterday, when I needed it. Unlike today, in which I don't think I really needed it. We had $600, or close to it. It's all good. So, I'm pretty sure this is where we're supposed to be going. This is the northwest. And, they had a volcano over here. Big ol' volcano. The spiders are so cute when they're dead. Who's a cute little dead spider? Oh, I think I fixed the alert stuff too, the trigger fires stuff. I don't know why it decides to not work some days and other days it does, but it should be working now. I tested it before a stream, so that stuff should be working again. I don't know why it didn't work yesterday. It just all of a sudden started working and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to make of this. But cool. I'm glad it's working now. I don't know what causes it to work and what causes it not to. Maybe they were doing like maintenance or something like that, you know? Websites have to do maintenance from time to time. Maybe they had something going down. Getting freaky, getting busy. I don't know, but it seems to all work again, so whatever it was temporary. It all seems to be sorted out. What was frustrating is I spent a lot of time trying to get that shit to work in the first place, got it working, and then it decided not to work. Like, that's frustrating. Especially when you find out, like, in the middle of stream, you're like, oh, okay, shit was working. Wait, no, it's not. No. But everything should be fine now. Should be. Hey, nice. I wasn't able to, like, beat those things before, so that's cool. Those little fire lizards or whatever they were. I was never able to kill those things. They were, like, veritable gods. Alright, I'm guessing that that's an entrance right there, the cave? Okay, this is bad. Also, these noises are bad. I'm gonna go down. They were, heinous. Is there no entrance here? It's weird. I really hate their noises. I would like for them not to make those noises. That looked like a door, didn't it? Or a cave entrance? Let's see what's over to the right here before we go in here. Ah. Happiness. Ow. It won't die. Okay. We should just go in the dungeon. So, if I die, We just respawn. That thing took like 10 billion hits. I'm guessing this is a dungeon.
Your commitment to your quest is tested here with the ruthless Warbane. Only your passion to rescue Link and save Tolamak will defeat his fiery battles.
Only my passion? I don't think my passion's very strong, talking lady. Not saying that I don't have passion, but it's questionable at best.
Be gone. I, blacksmith, have my work to do. No time for intruders.
Okay, I just killed you. Why did I kill him? He was like, "Hi, I'm people," and I was like, "Okay, good, die."
Feel the tip of my spears and tell me they are the finest.
Oh, he slaughtered me. Oh, he straight up slaughtered me.
Your commitment to your quest is tested.
Oh, he straight up murderized me. I'm assuming all these guys respawn, right?
Be gone.
Yeah.
I, blacksmith, have my work to do. No time for intruders.
Yeah. Not a surprise. So we get to listen to their lovely dialogue every time we come here.
Feel the tip of my spears and tell me they are the finest in Tolmac.
I felt the tip of your spear, and I'd never like to feel it again, good sir. Oh, good. Good video game noises, good video game noises. Let's take a peek at our new map here. Alright. I mean, this doesn't seem too bad, but what do I know? Just making sure that wasn't a thing. They make very strange noises. I don't need money anymore. I do need health, though. Get out of here. Like, health is definitely important. Alright. Bugs that live in the volcano. Makes sense, makes sense. If I were a bug, I would make my home in a volcano. Where all the magma lives. And a blacksmith should also do that. Because, you can forge very brittle obsidian weapons. And sell them at high prices to gullible buyers, adventurers. I would like your finest obsidian sword. Are you sure? It's super expensive, and it'll break if you use it. Yes, I will totally buy one from you. It'll be $4 billion. No problem. I've slaughtered many monsters.
You will not go. You have not the fire in the belly to do else but obey me.
The cute little thing gave me a hammer? Thank you. That was very kind of you, fair beast of the dungeon. A lot of empty rooms. I kind of like, as weird as the presentation is and the graphics are, I kind of like them. They're strange, very fever dreamish, but this is a cool looking dungeon. Maybe the ominous droning dog? Okay, yeah, we'll just slaughter the basset hound. Why not? Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. There's like fossils and stuff. Sure. It's a very tough dungeon. I feel like they gave up. Okay. Take it back with the fire-spitting monkeys from Wizard of Oz. I take it back. They were tough.
Let no one say my welcome is not a warm one. Do you still want my celestial sign, timid one?
Yes? Yes? Should... I thought we were about to fight the boss. Okay, that dude gave us a hammer, right? It's not the hammer. It is not the hammer. What about the big meat cleaver thing that we got? Why is there a room with a sheet metal walls and corrugated metal floor in this volcano dungeon? Best not to ask questions. Okay. Okay, we're doing great. Perfect. You love to see it. We went from the magical land of Hyrule to a random building in an industrial park. Yeah, it is strange. It is strange. I'm not disagreeing. It definitely is weird. I like it, though. It's so odd. It only costs 2 per cast, so that's not too bad. Alright. What's in here? It was one of the new items.
The sign is rightly my own. No slip of a girl can take it from me. Mine. Only I have the fire in my heart to keep it.
No, I was doing so well. Now back in the volcano. So it was just, yeah, it was like 2 rooms. Factory metal look? Well, yeah, I mean, they had like blacksmiths and stuff working in there. I don't know why this is this, but...
The sign is rightly my own. No slip of a girl can take it from me. Mine. Only I have the fire in my heart to keep it.
It's better just to use your wand. How many times did I hit it with the magic powder and nothing happened, and then we just beat the fuck out of it with our wand? We would have won our first try if I just used my wand. Yeah, it's like the non-slip for metal. It's supposed to like give you grip.
Zelda, life is always one order more horrifying than you expect. The great evil Ganon spoiled your victory. Make haste. Do not let him out of your sight.
What? I just fell down a hole? I don't know. I don't know. It's a video game. It makes sense. Boss rush? It's a video game. I don't know what kind of answer you want. What is this head thing? I like how it looked like I wasn't doing damage, yet I won anyways. Oh look, they're giving me health back. That's cool. That's actually really cool. Like, you go on a boss rush and they're like, here, have health back. That's neat. More boss rushes should do that, right? Alright, so they turned it into like a factory of sorts. And then they had 2 rooms that were industrial grade strength. I don't know, Teak. I don't know. Theorize they repurposed art assets from a different game. I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely thought that this looks kind of like a Alice in Wonderland type thing. Okay, is this Ganon? Yep, probably. I'm dead. She's definitely dressed like it. No! Ah! Ganon had an 80s fantasy for sure. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. If I could do slightly better against the glob thing, and I have a potion that we can use. I just wanted to see what the fight was like. It's not bad at all. We should be good. We should be good. Maybe. Maybe. I like how it looks like I'm not damaging it, but we are. That's cool. Yeah, you ain't getting me. Ow. Okay, well, that didn't go well. Yeah, that thing absolutely decimated me, man. Okay! Okay, 3 HP, we got this. No way we're gonna lose. No way we're gonna lose. I'm not using my potion, this is ludicrous. Okay, that was bad. I walked into him. Now! I don't know where to stand. God damn it. That blob dude, man. That blob dude. That stupid blob dude. It's not all the bosses either. It's like 5 of them. Dude, the design looks like a humanoid form of the demon dogs from Ghostbusters. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Are you the gatekeeper? Are you the key master? Yeah, those guys. Ones that, like, terrorized everyone. Okay, that one's slightly better. If I didn't slam my face into it there, we would have been pretty good. Gotta be a little careful on the dragon guy. He's not too bad. He did hurt me a bunch last time, but... Alright, it's better than 3 HP, right? Is better than 3 HP. It's 7.5 HP. Yeah, Ganon looks evil. I like it. He looks demonic. That's cool. Ooh, 2 hits. Ah! Oh, I was... what? You gotta make sure you, keep your distance. Nice, 2. Ah! He can't possibly spawn in the same spot twice. Yo, easy baby game. Ganon had abs. And he turned into a tornado. I win. There's a cow goat.
Princess Zelda, you've succeeded. Your victory has brought peace and light back to Tolamac. Your courage and strength will not be forgotten. For now, your work is done. Off you go to celebrate Link's return. But first, remember, lessons of the heart, mercy and human kindness prevail. Above all else, farewell, young princess.
Where the fuck is Link? I thought we were trying to save him. Where is he? The end. It took like 20 minutes to do. Uh-oh. Ah! This game's okay. It's okay. To be fair, of all the CD-i games... it's the one that most closely represents The Legend of Zelda. You know, it's a top-down game. You don't necessarily get, like, tools in the dungeons to help you, like, overcome the challenges. They're all relatively straightforward. The only, like, downside is that like a lot of these older games, there's not a ton of hand-holding, so there's a lot of wandering the overworld trying to figure out where it is that they want you to go next. It took me a little while to realize, but you can only access one dungeon. So like in Zelda 1, you can like wander around the overworld map and you can find Dungeon 4 and Dungeon 9 and Dungeon 3, and you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely not supposed to be here, but I can get into this place right now. You can totally do that. In this one, you can't. Like, the locations are there on the map, but they block them off, so you only can go to the very next specific dungeon that they want you into. It's not always obvious, and I think my biggest complaint is that, well, maybe it's not my biggest one, but it is one, that you have so many items to, like, check when you run across an enemy that's invincible to things. And it's kind of annoying if you don't have a lot of money to check some of the more higher-priced items. I think maybe it could have used, like, a magic system rather than just using your rupees. It's fine, but sometimes it causes you to grind. Like, if you're bad and you fuck up like I did in dungeon, I think it was 5. It was dungeon 5. Like, I messed up in there, and I needed to grind for money so that we could actually fight, because the enemies in there, they took 26 rupees for one shot of our weapon, and they took 4 or 5 shots to kill. The weapon had the possibility of hitting more than once, which is nice, but that's not guaranteed. So, you took too long. That was Link. The one that was standing next to Zelda, I guess. It didn't look like Link. I thought it was like the fairy. And so you gotta, like, experiment a lot with all your weapons. And when you have 30 weapons, it's just a pain in the ass to try to, like, constantly go into the inventory and cycle through them and find out what the weaknesses of this enemy. I kind of like the, like, pre-rendered backgrounds, and there's something endearing, even if they're not well done, about the FMVs, the full motion videos that they use to, like, do the story. Did the game just, like, turn off? You beat it. All right, shutting down. Have a blue screen. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk over something. I don't want it just to be, nothing. I hadn't saved in a long time. I wonder, like, what it does. Either way, like, the game is fun. There are far worse games out there. Like I said, I like the backgrounds. They definitely feel like fever dreamish, you know? Like I was making the comparison, and it definitely feels like Alice in Wonderland. Like, here you have, like, all these, like, fantastical places and stuff that you can go into and explore and stuff, and the way things are, like the circus and like the big crystal dungeon, the one that we had to, like, fly to and stuff and all that, definitely gave off this Alice in Wonderland vibe. Whether that was it or not is something else, but it definitely had that Alice in Wonderland vibe to it, I would say. Which is a cool thing. I think it works in, like, this instance. It's very surreal. Like, a lot of the places that you go are just strange. The overworld looks weird. The monsters that you fight look weird. Like, everything is just off. It's weird. It gives me this sense of unease, but I enjoyed it. The beginning of the game was a little wonky. Like, wandering around trying to find, like, you had to find your wand. That was a little wonky. Like, it's not like, here's a weapon, go do things. You start out with nothing. You can conceivably wander around and just get your shit pushed in for, like, a half hour if you didn't, like, accidentally stumble across the item, which is really unfortunate. I mean, it's sitting right next to you, a screen over, but how would you know to go to the right? The game doesn't indicate that. They just go looking around for something.
The scroll of Shamak, bearer of
But,
sad news,
you know,
is me,
overall, it's not terrible. This was definitely supposed to be the worst Zelda game ever. I still think Zelda 2 is worse than all of these, so I would take Link the Faces of Evil, Wand of Gamelon, and Zelda's Adventure over ever playing Zelda 2 again. Any day. I would rather play these than play Zelda 2. I don't like Zelda 2. I don't think Zelda 2 is a terrible game, and I think it's got some interesting concepts going for it, but I think these games are more fun than that. Personal opinion. Like, they call, Zelda 2 kind of like the black sheep of the Zelda family. I would say more of the Four Swords. Dude, I would rather play these over the Four Swords games, or at least the one Four Sword game that I played. This is an okay game. I like the FMVs. The voice acting is cheesy and weird, but they have a ton of different accents from all over the world, which is really cool. So you've got, like, French and Jamaican and... oh, man, yeah. British and all that. Yeah, we just beat it. We just beat it. We didn't have much longer to go today. The controls are a little bit goofy, for sure. Definitely a little goofy. You only have two buttons. You've got an attack button and then a menu button. That's it. That is all that you got. So, but I do like the fact that you have 8-way motion. So not only are you like locked into up, down, left, and right, your cardinal directions, you've got the diagonals as well, which is super helpful. I like that. It adds a little bit more to stuff. It makes moving around feel better. If it didn't have that, this game would have been super clunky. So the fact that they actually have 8-way movement in it, that is a massive, massive plus. A huge benefit to this game. It would probably have felt way worse. The screen transitions are a little rough. It's not always clear, and this is a problem with this style stuff of like what you can walk on and what you can't. Sometimes you can like walk onto shit and you're like, okay, I guess I'm walking on this now. It's not always obvious, and things that look like you can walk on, you can't. So there are like these invisible walls you can't see. So every once in a while you're like walking along a straight wall, and then you get across something and it just stops your path, and you got to walk along, around something invisible. That happens, and that doesn't feel good. It happens in like boss fights and stuff. Like if I got like a little too close to walls, I did my best to try to avoid them. If you wondered why I was like usually standing out in the open, was because it's safer because you can actually move. I tried to avoid like going close to walls and stuff. But overall, I had a fun experience. There were definitely some frustrating moments, like I said, like experimenting with like what weapons damage some enemies. And because your wand's hitbox is so big, and it's really big, which is a plus and a minus, when you can just use the standard wand and you can basically stand on the other side of the screen and hit an enemy, that's great. But when you're trying to test out what enemies' weaknesses are, it can fuck you over because you can think that you're hitting the enemy with the item that you're shooting out, and in fact you're hitting it with the wand. That happened to me twice when I was trying to figure out the weaknesses to the whiz robes and whatever those tornado enemies were. I just thought, hey, I guess I don't have whatever they're weak to, when in fact I probably did, but because I was hitting them with the wand and not the projectile part of it, it was causing issues, and that was a little problematic. That dungeon was hard. That was probably the hardest dungeon that we went into. I think that's dungeon 4. And the ones with the anti-fairies and the Gibdos, that one was brutal. I could never figure out. The Gibdos took so much damage, and the anti-fairies are just running around the room. The Gibdos did 2 HP worth of damage, and it took like 10 hits to kill them. And I didn't have like the wherewithal to be able to like experiment with the abilities to find if there was one that we could use that would kill them quicker. And you've got anti-fairies flying around the room, and you got 3 or 4 Gibdos coming at you. That one was tough. That was probably the hardest dungeon. Most of the other dungeons were relatively easy. Those last few dungeons we went through, it feels like they ran out of energy. Like the first few dungeons were kind of clever with their design and stuff like that. Even if they're relatively linear, there at least seemed to be something. I mean, I kind of like the Coliseum level, even if it was basically just walk in a straight line. It was a bit silly and goofy. There were a handful of items we never figured out what they did. Like, what the fuck did the carpet do? Like, we picked up a carpet, and what did we do? We picked up flowers, we picked up some sort of perfume thing. There were so many items that we have. I never know what the shield did. I think the shield was passive, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it allowed me, I think, I could be wrong, but when the Wizrobes shot their magic, if I wasn't hitting anything, it looked like we absorbed it, but I'm not entirely sure. I think so. Maybe it did do something, but it never was applicable. Like, we couldn't equip it or use it ever, so I was very confused about that. This game, I would love it if someone remastered and added, like, item descriptions to everything. So you knew what the items you had and what they did. That's what instruction manuals are for, but these instructions, the instruction manual just gives goofy explanations to things. I mean, listen to one of the explanations for the gold necklace. Once owned by a knight, the necklace is used to call upon the power of accuracy and fire. The necklace was stolen one day by a child who thought it would be sold for food and water. That's kind of helpful. Calm. There's a spell called Calm. This spell has the power to calm the elements. How is that supposed to help me with anything? I don't know. They're just some, like, strange descriptions to things that don't exactly help in any way. There's never that carpet's never listed on here. I don't know what it does. Like, a bunch of the items are not listed in the manual. Maybe they're just tchotchkes. Maybe they serve no purpose. Maybe they do something. We got a repellent that says it scares away swamp zolas. It was the thing with an X. I don't know what a zola is. Do you think it was the animals that were... I thought those were Lizalfos, but maybe they're zolas. I don't know what a zola is. It said it scared him off. I don't know what a Zola is. I guess you could have used it and it would, like, push enemies away. I never tried it. So there are a handful of things, but there were so many items that you had to cycle through to, like, try to, like, kill things. It was a little bit too much. In some ways, it kind of reminded me of Axiom Verge, where you had, like, 40 different guns, and it's just like, I don't need the guns. Like, I find 1 or 2 guns, and that's all I need. It's clever that enemies have strengths and weaknesses. I never mind that kind of thing, even if it does require you, because of how limited these consoles were and how they could do things, like constantly going in and out of a menu is annoying, but back in this day, you really didn't have a choice. Your controllers had a limited amount of buttons, so you couldn't, like, cycle through inventories. I don't mind the fact that I have to go in and out of the inventory. Is it a little tedious? Yes. But when you have to cycle through 30 weapons, that's when it becomes way too tedious. If you had 5 or 6 items, you go, oh, okay, I only have to try these handful of items. When you've got 20 of them, that's really annoying. They maybe could have pared down the amount of weapons that you got by a large amount, and it would have been perfectly fine. You didn't need so many varieties of the same projectile. You basically had like 30 projectiles which served the same purpose. They could have pared down a bunch of those, and it would have been so much better. Like, you had a joust, you had a broadsword, you had a dagger, you had an arrow. I think there was one other thing too that all served the same purpose. You just flung them forward. That's all that. Oh, the boomerang. They all served the exact same purpose. They didn't do something unique or anything like that. Like, you had the big fire thing which put out 4 fire pillars. That's cool. You had the ring that shot out like 4 or 5 fireballs. That's cool. Like, those actually did something different, whereas you had, like, literally 5 or 6 weapons that served the exact same purpose, that just shot a small projectile straight out, like a thin, small projectile. There's no reason to have all that. You don't need that. You could have just chosen one of those and been like, okay, cool. All right, that's all we need. Like, the bow and arrow was really all you needed. You didn't really need more than that. And you could have had, like, other things. Oh, there was, like, an axe and... a club. Like, none of those served any purpose. Like, they didn't really help with anything. Maybe some of the bosses had better weaknesses than the stuff that I used too. That was kind of hard to tell. But overall, this wasn't a terrible game. I mean, it's middling, you know. It's not like something that you sit down and go, damn, that was a good one. But it's not that bad either. I think people look at it and they go, okay, this is kind of weird and strange, because, I mean, these graphics are definitely, I mean, when you're used to playing games back then, they had, you know, that cartoony pixel look, and this is definitely a strange look to a game. Like, there weren't many pre-rendered games with I don't know what you call the digitized people. They're just digitized people, I guess. Like the digitized pre-rendered graphics that they have in this wasn't very commonplace. So I could see people looking at this and going, ugh, yikes, you know. I think it looks fine. You had games that eventually took this stuff on more common, like Baldur's Gate and Diablo and the likes of those games, which kind of took this on and maybe cleaned it up and made it look a little bit better, but they kind of used a similar style to it. But this was high tech. I agree. But I can see why people would look at this and kind of be turned off. But at the same time, this really isn't that bad of a game. Like, it's not really flawed in any way that I can think of, outside of, like, saying it's got too many weapons. It looks like this came out in 1995. I don't know. I didn't know a single person that had a Philips back in the day. I didn't know a single person that even knew what a Philips was. The only reason why I had ever heard of them was because of video game magazines that would list, you know, like Zelda games you didn't know existed, and you'd be like, whoa, what is this? Like, barely any magazines ever reviewed the games that came out for the CD-i. Like, sometimes you would see in passing, like when there were like multi-console releases of stuff like Mad Dog McCree, you would see like, okay, they would have like reviews of the other ones, but they would be like, okay, other versions of the game, and they would just be pushed off to the side and they wouldn't be mentioned in the article at all. You would just see like they would like mention them off to the side. So I'm sure that stuff happened with this, but yeah, the Philips CD-i was not given a lot of attention at all. So I'm sure there were people that played it back in the day. I'm sure. I was not one of them. Rotoscoping. Rotoscoping's really cool. Rotoscoping's really cool. It's trippy as hell. When it was popular in the 70s and 80s, like when you saw movies like the Hobbit ones, the Hobbit movies, the animated ones, they used rotoscoping in that for certain things. There were a handful of other movies too. I remember this like trippy ass like disco movie that used it. I forget what the name of that one was called. It was like this weird ass disco kind of drug fueled movie. It was strange. It was really strange. If you don't know what rotoscoping is, it's basically they film something and then draw on top of that film to make it look like a cartoon. So they're actually using like live action to then animate over. It's cool. Xanatool? Maybe. I honestly don't remember. I watched it like once or twice, and I was usually high when we watched it because it was Xanadu. Oh, Xanadu? Did Xanadu have rotoscoping in it? I thought Xanadu was just a musical. Maybe that wasn't it. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh, are you just naming like another, like, was it like a fantasy movie? I don't know what that is. I know there was a movie called Xanadu, and I think it was spelt with an X. Trippy movies about dancing. Oh, rotoscope dancing cartoon. It was I would guess that it came out in like the 70s. I don't know. It was weird as hell. List of rotoscoped works. Animated live action. There's a lot of them. Holy crap, there's a lot of them. Fantasia was rotoscoped? That's so cool. I didn't know that they used that in there. They used it in a bunch of stuff. Way more than I thought. I don't know. I'm not looking through all this. I don't remember what the hell that thing was called. Wizards was cool. It was a really strange movie. I'm not gonna... They may have even considered it a... live action thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna look through all of them. There's a lot of stuff there. It was a weird, trippy-ass movie. It was a weird, trippy-ass movie. No, it was done with rotoscope. I don't think Xanadu was done with rotoscope. It was fucking weird. Either way, yeah, this was okay. This was an alright game. It's not the greatest thing, it's not the worst thing, it's just kind of middle of the ground. It plays like you would think it would. It's not bad. It's just it's not great either. It was clever. It was clever. It's a interesting, like, if you remove the Legend of Zelda stuff, I think people would look at it differently and go, it's a really interesting Zelda-like. I think people would be a lot more favorable towards it if it didn't carry the moniker of the Legend of Zelda. You know, if you put on like the Alice, if you said that this is like a Legend of Zelda in Alice of Wonderland, I think people might have been a lot more apt to accept what it is versus saying like, this is, you know, Princess Zelda off on an adventure to save Link. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. It's not nearly as bad. I thought this was going to be atrocious, especially looking at it. Looking at the graphics, I definitely prejudged this game too, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be some like virtual highlight shit, or it's just going to be like this garbage bag of a game. It turned out it actually wasn't that bad. It's a little rough at the beginning of the game. I think that's where we did the most of our dying, but I mean, that makes sense. You have very little health and things do a ton of damage at first, and you know, the further you go along, the stronger you become. I am pretty sure that there is a mechanic in the game that the more health that you have, the more powerful that Zelda becomes, like the more damage she does, and the higher her defense is. Not just like she can take more hits, but the fact like she actually has more defense. Because I think the enemies at the beginning of the game did way more damage than they did at the end. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Groovy!
You like this better than Breath of the Wild? What's up, User the Tron? Could accept that. I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild either. How's thanks for the 10 bits, dude. I appreciate that. How goes the things? This was an okay game. It was not bad. It wasn't great. It was alright. It was alright. I think, like I said, I think it would just be slightly better received if it didn't carry the moniker of Legend of Zelda. But it's fun. The graphics are weird, super trippy, very surreal when you get into the dungeons and stuff. They're just out of a fever dream. It's cool. And I like the FMVs. They're silly and goofy. I like the voice acting. You know, it's not great voice acting, but it's better than some of the other voice acting that was around at the time, to be fair. It's okay. There's definitely terrible voice acting, and there was some bad stuff in this game, but it was okay. It was at least passable. It's a decent game. It's an overall decent game. Just right down the middle of the road, right down there. You know, it's the graphics definitely make it stand out for sure. There's not quite a lot like this. It's certainly unique, and I think that's something to like praise the game for. Is it took a chance with something different. And that's cool. It's nice when games do that kind of thing. I don't know if it worked at all, but yeah, it's fine. It's a perfectly adequate game. I'm happy to have played them because my knowledge coming in was just basically people's other experiences with these Zelda CD-i games. Other people's experiences and going off of what other people said, and everything that I heard shit on these games endlessly. And they're nowhere near as bad as people proclaim them to be. Nowhere even near. They're not great games, but they're fine. I really enjoyed Faces of Evil and Wanda Gamelon. Like, really enjoyed those games. Like, maybe too much. Like, I would not mind playing those games again. They're short, They're a little confusing at times, but they're a lot of fun. They're a little punishing, but not terribly. You get a bunch of lives, you get continues. Enemies go down relatively quickly. Like, bosses are not really bosses. Like, you throw a book at Ganon in one of them and you win. You throw a rod at Ganon in the other and you just win. Like, they're not even fights. It's just like, suck book, Ganon, and then you just win. Like, alright. Alright. They're fun. They're silly and stupid and fun. I think everyone should at least try them. I think you should try them. They are genuinely entertaining games. Nowhere near as bad as people have proclaimed them. I think people have been unduly hard on them. Unduly harsh. I don't even think it's justified. They're not that bad. They're not great, but they're not that bad. There are definitely more horrible and broken games out there than these. Definitely.